the current state of data accessibility?
Well, first of all, what is data accessibility? To me, it's more than just you can find it on the web, which is the first thing people think about. It's, can you find it at reasonable terms of service? Do you understand the terms of service? Can you integrate it into your application very easily, ideally through an API? Is the cost reasonable? Do you have transparency around where is this data coming from and is it any good? If you look at all those factors, I'd say that the state of data accessibility today is quite weak, which is why I'm so motivated to help the cause and to make much more data accessible.
Now, do you feel that data is hidden intentionally, or is it just that it's caused by, inaccessibility is caused by poor organization and messy data, that type of thing?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's intentionally. I think people's natural inclination within companies is to be a little bit afraid of understanding new models that would be an incentive to share. So I think what's exciting is to see a lot of new startups coming up with new models that make it very clear of why there's a huge benefit to sharing. And I think it kind of follows the same adoption curve like open source. There was a time 15 years ago where a manager would be crazy to ask their manager, can I open source all the code that I've been working on? Now it's become very clear that there's a whole set of reasons why it makes a lot of sense. There's cost savings, you get free bug checking, you get an entire support from an entire community who understand what you're trying to do and achieve, and they build on top of that. Similarly, in the open data world, we're seeing the same kinds of things just starting to happen, where people are understanding why share, why expose, why create an API.
That's interesting to monitor the trajectory of that versus open source. Definitely something to keep an eye on there. Do you think that we'll get to a point where clean and trustworthy and accessible data is the default? Or am I thinking in sort of utopian terms there?
I think so, and I don't think it's so utopian. I think today, when it comes to manufactured goods, electronics, there's all these different consumer reports that are making sure you get what you pay for. There's ratings, there's regulation around making sure that things are safe. With data, you don't have all this infrastructure. It's an emerging category. I think you'll see spawning all sorts of new companies that make it easier to measure quality, to understand what you're getting, and to do literally comparison shopping. So that with comparison shopping, what you get is competition, and you get different people trying to get you a better product for less money. And then I think we'll start to see quality up, costs down, and it's going to be better for everyone. It's going to raise all boats.
Now, last question for you. About a year ago, I think we did an interview with you for Radar, where you actually brought up the terms, the phrase iTunes for data. How close do you think we are to that type of marketplace and distribution channel?
We're seeing, I think a big indication is we're seeing large companies put stakes in the ground saying we believe this is going to happen. So my examples would be Microsoft's Azure Data Marketplace. Salesforce started data.com. They launched data.com, which is supposed to be sort of a central gallery for data which can improve your CRM. EMC Greenplum, a large analytics company, announced something in conjunction with us at Factual about an app about a data marketplace that can integrate into their analytics platform. So the fact that we're seeing large companies now, there's also the smaller companies like InfoChimps and DataMark and others that have been working on this. We're getting data marketplaces. I think it's a kind of a chicken and egg. As these start to succeed, many more companies, vendors, suppliers of data will put the data in. We'll see kind of this flywheel start to move really fast. I think then we'll get to the point where for pennies you can get exactly the data record that you need and get it integrated easily into your application.
Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.